My name is Spootyskater, and I love skateboarding. No news is good news. So if you didn't read the title of this video, wow, you are very brave. Before we get into the meat of the topic, first I'd like to give a little bit of a backstory. I got my first skateboard when I was just about 8 years old, and I skated fairly consistently all throughout elementary and middle school. In my freshman year of high school, I moved across country to a different state, and so I didn't know many people, I didn't have very many places to skate, and so I sort of stopped skateboarding then. Every time I tried to pick it back up again, I would do it for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and then I'd always end up stopping. That is until the end of 2019, I made a commitment to myself to really pick up skateboarding again. I wanted to feel the same passion and love that I had for the sport back when I was in elementary and middle school. There's something so satisfying about skateboarding that no other sport or activity even comes close to. And so for last month, I set a challenge for myself to skate every single day of the month. All 30 days of April, I skated every day for 30 days straight. And here's what happened. I was very sore. What? Oh, director's saying I should tell more. Okay. Couple of days were absolutely brutal. For starters, I hadn't skated in a couple of months anyway, so I was really rusty on the board. I couldn't land just about anything, and I was having a hard time just keeping my breath while I rode. To say I was sore during that time period would be a massive understatement. It wasn't until about a week and a half where I really started to get back into it, started to relearn some tricks, started to feel that passion and the progress that I was seeking. In an effort to combat the soreness of constantly beating my body up every day on the skateboard, I turned to things such as stretching daily, using a heating pad that had been collecting dust under my couch for the longest time, and even dedicating certain days to skate a little bit lighter than I usually would, although that proved to be a bit more difficult than I'd anticipated. More about that in a moment. It was important for me to have some days where I just got on the board and rode around, did a few flip tricks, and then called it a day. Because if I were to push myself really hard every single day, I don't think I would have made it through the entire 30 days. After about 2 or 3 weeks into the challenge, I noticed something interesting about my legs. My thighs seemed to have swelled up quite significantly, most likely due to the excessive nature of my riding and my body not quite used to that kind of abuse. The upper half of my legs were very large. Now, I'm not a biologist or a scientist or anything like that, but if I were to take a guess, I would imagine that this was just a bunch of blood being pumped to that part of my body to try and heal it as much as possible from the consistent strain that I was putting on it. In addition to consistent stretching and using the heating pad, I found that eating right and sleeping well played a large role in my body's ability to rejuvenate itself between skate sessions. Which makes sense if you think about it. I mean, it's just like working out. If you're exercising a certain muscle, you need to give it the time to heal, which was my thought process behind having a lighter day in between heavier skate days. Although I found myself once getting on that board, getting into the session, it was quite difficult to pull myself back and just have a little bit of a lighter skate session. I always wanted to go hard all the time. It's like that saying, go big or go home. It was sort of subconsciously ingrained into my mind once I got on that skateboard. And some days I just found myself having to call it quits. Setting a timer on my phone even, and being really strict about stopping as soon as that alarm goes off. Another challenge I ran into was trying to find a good place to skate when it rained. I live in the state of Florida, and it rains quite a bit here, especially in the afternoons, which was usually when I would be skateboarding. Luckily, I did find a close location that was covered, sheltered from the rain, and a place where I could safely do my thing while the rain did its thing. On the upside, and as is likely to be expected, I ended up developing my skateboarding quite a bit. I was a lot more comfortable on my board than I previously had been. I actually ended up learning a couple new tricks and feeling that I was seeking, that highly sought after excitement, passion, driven by learning new things and being able to overcome all obstacles in your way. Toward the latter quarter of the challenge of skateboarding every day for 30 days in a row, I found my body becoming a lot more resilient to the process. Each morning I wasn't quite as sore when I woke up, and I found myself able to rejuvenate quicker from day-to-day injuries that occurred while skateboarding. Which made me think, I wonder if something about skateboarding causes a human body to recuperate faster. It would be really interesting to see scientists study skateboarders' DNAs and see if there's anything in there that possibly indicates the ability to heal quicker and more consistently. Maybe not, but it's an interesting thought. Skateboarding every day for 30 days proved to be a challenging yet rewarding endeavor. While at first rather painful and tiresome, it felt more natural over time. My skateboarding skill increased exponentially, as well as my passion for the sport and my ability to do it for prolonged periods. I'd be delighted to hear if anything I said today resonated with you at an emotional or intellectual level. This was a fun challenge and exercise, and if you'd like to see more about my 30-day challenge, I've created a playlist for you guys on my channel. So go and check it out if you desire to see more of me skateboarding every day for 30 days. For more skateboarding and shenanigans, stay tuned to Spootyskater. And until next time, I'm going to leave you with a few of my proudest accomplishments over the 30 days of skateboarding.